Howdy timekeepers. Hope everyone have a great week so far. This time, I am gonna discuss about Lopera. When she was initially released, there was an issue in utilizing her kit to full potential. The question brought up was that is she a hyper carry or a sub carry character? First, let's pan over her stats at Resonance 10. Lopera at level 60 has 988 attack and 571 crit rate without including her resonance stats. Like Ezra, the attack is on the lower side, less than 1000 attack stats. This kinda hint that she is likely a support role based. Design-wise, I like the fiery feel of a brunette in some cool hunter vibe. Let's explore her skills first. Skill 1. Double backups. Single target attack which at rank 3, deals 500% reality damage. Lopera will convert her own flaming bullet into two types of bullet buffs to allies in front of her and behind her. Each ally will gain one type of buff. Front ally will gain incantation bullet which increases incantation spell damage by 25% and the back ally will gain ritual bullet which buff ultimate might power by 25%. Generally speaking, the entire battle, front teammates will always be having 25% spell power and the back teammate always be having 25% ritual power. Skill 2. Winning Chips. Self-channeling buff, gains 5 stacks of flaming bullets at rank 1, and put Lopera into ready-to-shoot state. Lopera will be out of this status if flaming bullet is depleted end of the round. Also at the end of the round, Lopera will cast Bullseye, single target attack that deals 150% reality damage, and here comes the best part of this skill. It grants all allies 10% of Lopera's crit damage for 2 turns. Lopera's attacks will apply 3 stacks of burn. If enemy has 20 stacks of burn, Bullseye attack will grants 20% of Lopera's crit damage instead. I did mention before during the Argus character guide video that I predicted future meta is shifting towards crit damage meta, so it is not surprising that Lopera buff our critical damage too. Another thing to note, as winning chips is a channeling status, this can be interrupted by hard crowd control skills. Here is a scenario. Notice how Lopera in channeling state with Bullseye buff and flaming bullet. There is 1 stack of paralysis debuff from the moth enemy's ultimate attack. She can still maintain her channeling state. In second part, the second enemy's ultimate attack applies a 2nd stack of paralysis, which turns into stun. From the animation of the third enemy's ultimate attack, we can see that Lopera's channeled buff state disappears. This shows that the condition to cancel winning chips buff is not being hit by the ultimate attack, but being affected by the crowd control effect, making her unable to move in next turn. Next, we break into her critical damage buff for all allies. We can see here, Lopera is equipped with her best in slot, Psycube, the 3rd commitment. In the next part, we can see that the 3rd commitment Psycubes is prop. Which means, we are expected to see the critical damage buff granted to Lucy here. However, Lucy with 9 stacks of Dynamo still deals 2210 damage only with no additional critical damage buff added on. So, we can deduce that the critical hit damage value at the end of each round determines the value of buff grants for the next round, so the buff on the current round will not immediately affect the critical hit. I think this skill is pretty good both as offense and supporting buff for allies. Ultimate skill, More Than Alchemy. This is a self-buff skill. Lopera creates a special array called Crucible Arsenal that lasts for 3 rounds. Crucible Arsenal grants 40% crit rate. All bullets will no longer be consumed when there is 1 stack left. Note that each type of bullet can have 1 stack left, not all bullets combined. You can have Incantation Might and Ultimate Might bullet maintained for 3 rounds. The second effect is that critical rate overflow is converted to critical damage, and this effect is triggered only when the attacker holds a bullet. The starting point for the ratio of critical rate overflow to critical damage triggered by one type of bullet is at 40%, and it can be increased to 90% at most. Characters like Eagle, Regulus, Winsong have their own critical rate overflow to critical damage kit which does not stack with Lopera's effect. Even the reworked Charmaine have critical rate overflow as well. The larger value of either one of the buff will be taken into account. For every 1% of the critical rate overflow of the above characters is converted to 1% of critical damage. Quite an insane ultimate that supports hyper carry very well. Lopera's Insight 1 is straightforward. Trigger Bullet when attacking will grant Lopera 1 Moxie and heal the ally with the lowest HP percentage 50% lost HP. Only Lopera's own attack can trigger the bullet, other bullets triggered by teammates not counted. Here's an example to understand better. First, let Mr. Duncan trigger his Insight 3 to give whole team bullets, and then Lopera casts second skill winning chip once with 0 Moxie at start. Second part, we can see that Lopera automatically moves and consumes 2 bullet effects but only gets 1 Moxie through her Insight 1. We can also see here that Cacania gets 50% health recovered from Lopera. Insight 2 grants 15% critical damage. Insight 3. Gain 1 Moxie when entering battle. For every other allied beast, spirit, and intellect character, gain 1 Moxie, up to a maximum of 2. Lopera's Moxie cycles very quickly. In the first round, as long as you cast the second skill first and then the first skill, even if you only trigger the guaranteed 1 Moxie from bullet, you are guaranteed to cast the ultimate in second round. Finally, because of the effect of the special array, Lopera will retain 1 stack of flaming bullet. This insight truly complements her kit very well as well-rounded sub DPS and support. For resonance, this is the optimum setup recommended. As for the resonance pattern, I recommend Hyperphrenia. Lopera's own damage output is on the low side, so prioritize own survivability is better since her main role is to support with bullets and ultimate to maintain the special array. For team selection, I would pair her with Cacania, since Lopera can heal % health loss and both amps up the damage output as well. Lucy is the other character that can work well with her, with initial Moxie gain and stats are well-rounded and good follow-up attack. Paired with Lopera who can heal with % of blood loss, double survival support can optimize the damage amplification and survivability well. Lopera's Portrays unlocks some unique changes in her kit. At Portray 3, Lopera's ultimate grants her special array to last for 4 turns. If the player's team setup forces Lopera to basically do 2 moves or more in 3 turns, then the continuous +1 extra turn ended up gain 0 benefit from this portray at all. So if you want to unlock more than 2 portrays, take note of this part. Lastly, her best in slot Psycube. The third commitment. This Psycube has won the bigger jump in stats at max amplification. Lopera can get a total of 32% increased in crit damage and allies gain 12% incantation might and ultimate might. No wonder, a lot of CM players put her at the tier 0 list. Shall we jump into some actions now?
Please, I know how to use it.
Ready? Aim?
Please, allow me.
Didn't see that coming, did you? Ha! My Crucible really has a mind of its own.
A simple arcane trick. Please, I know how to use it. Oh, don't stare at it for too long.
Hold on, psychiatrist at work. Wait for the pop!
Sweet dreams! Now presenting Bing Lesmia. You must see your true self.
Take that, I say! I never miss. Most of the time, anyway.
Shall I, Master?
Wait for the pop!
Sweet dreams.
Finally, it's just you and me, Master. Do 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 do. Perfectly understood.
A simple arcane trick.
Ready? Aim?
Keep calm. Oh, don't stare at it for too long.
Fresh from the crucible.
That's nothing. But I look forward to punishing you.
Oh, please. I know how to use it.
I never miss. Most of the time anyway.
Just you wait.
Stay back, I say. Hell's Gate. But I look forward to punishing you.
I've got some trouble brewing.
Shall I, Master?
Ready? Aim?
Shall I, Master?
Give this a taste. Wait for the pop.
Sweet dreams.
That's nothing.
Perfectly understood. Please, allow me.
Stay put. This will hurt longer if I miss. That's what it's all about. Life or death battle and victory.
The characteristics of being able to assist and heal also allow Lopera to be easily put into any team very smoothly. Whether as a sub-carry or a healer, she can be competent to a certain extent. I personally would give her an excellent evaluation. After all, this kind of all-rounder auxiliary is really rare, and the kit is very comfortable. I agree with her being tier 0. Let me know, what do you guys think? Will you be pulling for Lopera too? How many copies? Thank you for watching and supporting me all these while. Hope to see you guys real soon. Cheers and Godspeed.